Gateway Sports Medicine has grown leaps and bounds to provide quality health care for everyone in Laredo and the surrounding areas, providing multiple sports medicine services for adults and children. Now we welcome Dr. Eduardo Garza, our new sports medicine physician, to our team, helping the athletes of Laredo be at the peak of their performance. Dr. Eduardo Garza brings his knowledge and experience to Gateway Community Health Center. With school around the corner, get your star athlete checked out today and welcome Dr. Eduardo Garza to Gateway Sports Medicine.
Gateway Pediatrics invites you to make an appointment for your child's next pediatric visit for your wellness checks, pediatric vaccines, physicals, and for any other healthcare needs. With 6 clinics to serve you. Call Gateway Pediatrics at 956-795-8100.
Gateway Sports Medicine brinda atención de calidad en Laredo y las áreas cercanas, ofreciendo servicios de medicina deportiva para todas las edades. Le damos la bienvenida al Dr. Eduardo Garza, médico de medicina deportiva. El Dr. Garza brinda su experiencia a Gateway Community Health Center, lo cual ayudará a sus pacientes a que continúen siendo atletas de alto rendimiento. Con el regreso a clases, evalúe a su atleta estrella hoy y dele la bienvenida al Dr. Eduardo Garza a Gateway Sports Medicine.
Welcome to Gateway Today, your one-stop source for all things Gateway Community Health Center. I'm your host, David Cash Vasquez, and today we're exploring the Gateway Family Medicine Residency Program, giving you an inside look at the program and how Gateway Community Health Center is making doctors that benefit Laredo, Zapata, and Hebbronville. For those who know, the University of Incarnate Word's School of Osteopathic Medicine, Laredo Medical Center, and Gateway Community Health Center partnered to establish this training program, making a historic milestone for Laredo after years of hard work. First, I'll sit down with residency director and the lady mentoring and preparing doctors for a future of medicine, Dr. Maria Antonieta Garcia. We'll discuss the program's mission and what sets it apart from others around the country. Plus, we'll talk to 30-year veteran MD, Dr. Horacio Diaz, on his role in the residency program as core faculty, skills he's focused on providing to the residents, putting the skills into practice, including hands-on projects and the challenges they'll face along the way. Then our conversation heads over to Gabriel Martinez, our licensed professional counselor associate, to discuss the critical support he provides to doctors going through the residency program. Gabriel will share his insights on how he helps these healthcare professionals navigate the challenges of residency and maintain their mental health and well-being. Also, we'll be speaking to Dr. Eduardo Garza, core faculty for the residency program at Gateway Community Health Center. Dr. Garza plays a vital role in training the next generation of healthcare professionals, and we'll be discussing his approach to supporting the residents as they develop their skills and navigate their residency and experience. So sit back, relax, and join us as we take you on a journey through the Gateway Residency Program. Gateway Today starts now. Becoming a doctor is no easy task, but one thing is for sure, you will need to complete a residency program to be a practicing physician in the United States. And the one person who knows this all too well is our Gateway Residency Program Director, Dr. Maria Antonieta Garcia, who I got a chance to sit down with.
So it's a difficult, long process, and it sounds easy. Oh, let me just apply for a job and I'll go interview. But you actually start towards the end of your last year of medical school. You apply for a program called the Match. You submit your application to the residency programs you want in whatever specialty you would like. Then these residency programs review your application and they can decide to extend an interview to you or not. All of these applications come with a cost.
So there's no guarantee that you're going to be selected.
There's no guarantee that you will even get an interview, unfortunately. So you're paying for each application that you send out, and depending on your scores and what kind of applicant you are, you send out as many as possible or as many as you think are necessary for you to have the best opportunity to get a job.
How many applications do we receive as a residency, or does our residency program receive?
At the beginning, it's like a free-for-all of applications, and so we receive anywhere from 800 to 1,000.
So you have a ton of homework in that you have to go through those 1,000 applications.
Yes, I have the help of filters for the most part, but yes, we go through hundreds of applications.
And thousands of this pool of 1,000 potential doctors wanting to come to Laredo.
Right.
So once how many applicants are selected at the end?
In the end, we have 8 positions.
8 potential physicians that are going to be staying here in Laredo that could potentially stay here. They still have a choice, right?
No, they don't have a choice. Once you match, you are bound by a contract to go wherever you match. When you enter the match, you sign this contract, and the residency program sign this contract. And at the end in March, when you match, you have to go where you are matched.
So when you go into that residency program, you're here in Laredo for 3 years.
If they match here, yes.
Okay. So they're here in Laredo for 3 years. After the 3 years, most times they'll, depending if they drink the water,
the water is
eat
strong.
the tacos here in Laredo, they're gonna want to stay here is our hope through the residency program.
That's the goal.
So overall, we're creating our own doctors, our own physicians.
Right.
Wow, over 1,000 applications for people wanting to be a part of the Gateway Community Health Center residency program. It's incredible. Coming up, Dr. Garcia will share the advantages of our residency program for those applicants and how the program is dealing with stress and burnout. Stay tuned, more Gateway today on the way.
Gateway Sports Medicine has grown leaps and bounds to provide quality health care for everyone in Laredo and the surrounding areas, providing multiple sports medicine services for adults and children. Now we welcome Dr. Eduardo Garza, our new sports medicine physician, to our team, helping the athletes of Laredo be at the peak of their performance. Dr. Eduardo Garza brings his knowledge and experience to Gateway Community Health Center. With school around the corner, get your star athlete checked out today and welcome Dr. Eduardo Garza to Gateway Sports Medicine.
Gateway Pediatrics invites you to make an appointment for your child's next pediatric visit for your wellness checks, pediatric vaccines, physicals, and for any other healthcare needs. With 6 clinics to serve you. Call Gateway Pediatrics at 956-795-8100.
Gateway Sports Medicine brinda atención de calidad en Laredo y las áreas cercanas, ofreciendo servicios de medicina deportiva para todas las edades. Le damos la bienvenida al Dr. Eduardo Garza, médico de medicina deportiva. El Dr. Garza brinda su experiencia a Gateway Community Health Center, lo cual ayudará a sus pacientes a que continúen siendo atletas de alto rendimiento. Con el regreso a clases, evalúe a su atleta estrella hoy y dele la bienvenida al Dr. Eduardo Garza a Gateway Sports Medicine.
Welcome back to Gateway Today. We continue our conversation with Dr. Maria Antonieta Garcia, Program Director for the Gateway Residency Program, and how residents are at an advantage by being part of our program and support they receive to help them deal with the pressures of becoming a doctor.
With our residency specifically, we have made a big push for what we call wellness or resident wellness. Recently, there's been a lot of news of residents who commit suicide. Residency is difficult. You have time for nothing else. You're working 24 hours a day. You have 1 day off per week. That's mandated. Otherwise, you're nonstop working. You're seeing death. You're seeing people sick. You're seeing people broken. It's a hard field. Mm-hmm. And as physicians, we have to learn how to cope with those things. If not, you burn out quickly. And so here we made a big push for wellness. We've assigned a wellness chair who has really run with it. And together with the OPCs that we have here at Gateway with our behavioral health department, they've developed curriculum that we teach with the residents so that we can hopefully avoid that burnout in the future.
Right.
We do kind of fun activities every quarter with the residency. Most recently, we played kickball at a Unitrade Stadium.
That is awesome.
It was really fun. Unitrade lent us their stadium to go and play kickball there. So we took an afternoon and it got really competitive. Glasses were broken. Knees were swollen the
As
next
it should
day.
be. Kickball kickball is no joke.
Yes, it really was. We had snacks out there, we had time together, and so that's one of the things that's important to our residency.
How do we get doctors to stay?
We offer them jobs
Outside
of the residency. Give them tacos, make them drink the water.
A big thank you to Dr. Garcia for her time and sharing how Gateway's residency program is on a mission to provide South Texas with the most qualified physicians that are committed to high quality healthcare. Up next, 30-year MD veteran Dr. Horacio Diaz, residency program core faculty, shares his take on the importance of this vital program. We'll discuss residency curricula and preparing doctors for a future of practice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we are here with Dr. Horacio Diaz, who is our core faculty with the Family Medicine Residency Program here at Gateway Community Health Center. And Dr. Diaz, thank you for your time. I appreciate you joining us to talk a little bit about the residency program. But just to let people know, you're no young buck when it comes to medicine. You've been practicing since
I graduated from medical school in 1986 and have been practicing in Laredo since 1997.
So about 3 decades of medical experience, right? And with that experience, how do you take that experience and give it to the students that are a part of the residency program?
Well, not only do we rely on our experience, we also have to meet minimum guidelines and requirements to be an accredited program, which we are. So we have continuing education, we have courses on how to prepare the next generation of doctors, and then we share our knowledge and the guidelines set forth by our academies to teach our residents how to do their jobs in a specialized way.
What are you seeing with the residents that you're receiving? Because we get residents from all over the states. What do you see is the biggest challenge with the residency program?
Well, I don't see it as a challenge. I think the greatest benefit is really to the community, both from us, from the faculty, that it keeps us up to date and continuing to improve our skills and our knowledge base. And then with the residents, they are dynamic, very bright young doctors that are in training. And the benefit really is towards our community. This greater access for our patients to have excellent care, meeting or exceeding the guidelines set forth to treat them.
Gotcha. So at the end of their time in the residency program, and they've gone through everything through their training, 3 years, right? What are you hoping that these residents come away with once they're done with our program?
Well, our hope is that they come out to as excellent physicians to provide care and the high quality care to their patients, no matter where they wind up. Our hope is for a great majority of these young physicians to stay in our area and treating our patients, and the patients that they have been treating since they started and gotten to know and made part of their practice and their family. So that's the great benefit to the community, that right now we are retaining approximately 10% of our residents are staying. It's a very high demanding training. They are tested frequently. They are challenged with the educational process, and then when they finish their training, they take a specialty board, and then they have to maintain that level of specialty every 10 years. They're tested.
Right. So they never stop learning.
They never stop learning. Right now, we are very proud of our residents. We have 100% passing rate in our board their board certification. So it's a
testament really to the work.
To the work that they put in and what they're doing and accomplishing.
Well, I will say that our hope is that with the need of medical doctors, specialists, as a whole here in our community, we tip our hat to you, and the rest of the faculty are just doing a phenomenal job in training and preparing these physicians for their next chapter in life, where they'll see patient upon patient with different diseases. And so we tip our hat to you. And of course, if you want to learn more about Gateway's residency program, you can visit gatewaychc.com. And of course, we want to thank Dr. Horacio Diaz for his time and giving us an insight into what happens behind those doors here at the residency program at Gateway Community Health Center. Our thanks to Dr. Diaz for sharing his experience as core faculty for our residency program. Up next, we talk to Gabriel Martinez, our licensed professional counselor associate, who will share how behavioral health services are supporting our residents and our future physicians. What's going on, everybody? We're here at Gateway Community Health Center here at our central clinic at 1515 Papa Street, and we've been talking about our residency program here at Gateway Community Health Center. And one of the pieces to the residency program has to do with a collaboration between our residency program and our behavioral health department. And so I thought, man, I'm gonna come and visit one of our LPCAs, or licensed professional counselor associates, supervised by Dr. Sandra Contreras, Mr. Gabriel Martinez, on how our behavioral health department is working together with our residency department. And so, Gabe, I wanted to ask you really how all of this has sort of been working. I know there's a committee with the residency department who Dr. Garcia, we talked to earlier, mentioned. There's a wellness committee. Tell me the importance of wellness for these residents and why, it's something that we're focusing on here at the clinic.
And so that committee provides a lot of different benefits, right? In the sense that it teaches a lot of outside the personal life, how to manage. A lot of these people come from outside. So it helps them manage it, how to deal with different types of stress, how to deal with kind of situations, different situations that they might have. So in essentially, it's a place where they'll be what I like to call here a psychoeducational groups, right? Where they get to be educated on different types of approaches, how to manage, again, their stress, maybe levels of anxiety, have different workshops. And just overall in the wellness of, hey, be sure to in touch with your family if you're out of town, or stay consistent with your diet or physical health. So they touch on everything that is essentially for them to work.
It's super important that, again, they're away from their comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
They're dealing with a lot of traumatic experiences, and then having Gateway and our staff support them, I think is critical,
Absolutely.
Right? And so one of the things I think that was really cool that Dr. Garcia mentioned when we spoke to her was that they had an outing, right? Going out, they went and played kickball, right? And so tell me, I think physical activity, I think exercise, I get excited, right? Because for me, even personally dealing with my own stresses in life, I think exercise is sort of that release. Right. Is that an important step for these residents to continue doing? I know you mentioned it, diet, staying connected, but tell me about the physical activity and how that relates to their mindset.
Right. I think when it comes to that bonding experience, that's what comes to mind, that they get to bond with their classmates, so therefore establish this little community within them. And with that community, they get to share and be vulnerable along the way if they're going through something or struggling. But definitely if individuals, whether it's get involved in outdoor activities, whether, hey, go on for runs, for walks, it is imperative, especially for them, like you said, because they deal with a lot. And so I'm glad that these programs and the administration and their directors really establish this sense of cohesiveness around them, because that gives them that extra support system, and also little by little integrate them into our culture. So therefore they're still part of their culture, but also at the same time they're also familiar with us, and thus eventually the culture shock and that cultural maybe instability starts to reduce. They start getting into those tacos and little by little on that, and so that is very important.
They become Laredoans.
And so, and then when they leave, they miss our tacos, right? Yeah. And so I think that cohesiveness with a lot of our MDs here helps them a lot. Not only break out of their shell, but who knows? Maybe we even get to keep them here in Laredo. So
well, and I'm glad you bring that up. That's the plan. And obviously, as the residency program continues to grow, we continue to produce doctors for South Texas, and that's what we eventually want to do. We want to keep these residents here. We want them to become physicians and practice here full-time in our community. So, Gabe, I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If you need help with behavioral health services, come on over here and visit Gabriel Martinez. He's a licensed professional counselor associate supervised by Dr. Sandra Contreras right here at Gateway Community Health Center. We invite you to learn more about our behavioral health department. Gabe, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me, David. I appreciate it. Thank you.
A big thanks to Gabriel and the Behavioral Health Department for their support of the residency program and how they're helping future doctors cope with stress and anxiety. Up next, we're talking to Dr. Eduardo Garza about his role as core faculty for our residency program and how he's using sports medicine to prepare them for injuries these doctors may see in the future. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We're back here at Gateway Community Health Center, and we're fortunate to have our core faculty member of our residency program and our sports medicine doctor, our very own Dr. Eduardo Garza, in the house. Dr. Garza, thanks for joining us. And today we are talking about the residency program and your role as core faculty. Tell me a little bit about that role that you have in ensuring that these future doctors or practicing physicians are going to be ready to take on patients.
Yeah, of course. So one of my responsibilities as core faculty in the residency is to make sure we guide the residents into like, it's more like our process the first 2 to 3 years of training, right? And to kind of guide them into like what eventually what the real world is going to look like once you graduate, right? Making sure they're ready for the test, which is the main board exam that they have to take on April on their 3rd year. And we encourage them to, like, once they're inside, they're working within the community and they realize the benefits of, like, Colorado's, a special place. It's, I wouldn't say it's like San Antonio size, but it's very close. It feels like it's like a natural home, I would say, for especially you want to grow family members. And one of the other things is a loan forgiveness plan that we can offer, or the government offers if they stay in Laredo.
So really teaching them the benefits of becoming a physician, right? What to expect as a physician, but also the advantages of practicing here in South Texas, right?
Of course.
Tell me about the loan forgiveness program, because I don't think a lot of people understand that many physicians come out of medical school with a huge amount of debt,
Very
right?
large, yeah.
So how does our program benefit them in terms of that loan forgiveness piece?
Sure, yeah. So Laredo is actually considered a lower resource area in regards to like physicians availability for our community. So I know the application, I'm not entirely sure the actual details of the application, but I know that the government can actually assist in some of those payments. So, once they graduate, they can actually apply. And actually, we have about several of our residents who actually applied and actually got accepted. So,
aside from that, they're also enjoying and understanding our culture, right?
Exactly, yeah.
They're new to the city. Tell me about that and what you've seen and how it sort of makes them want to stay.
Honestly, it's the people. Like it's special, right? Like I mentioned earlier, that relationship is I don't know I don't want to say the Hispanic Laredo itself, but they're very open to like what a physician's recommendations are, right? I don't miss the cold at all.
I don't think any Laredoan is ready for the Pacific Coast wet. Cold, right?
Give me the heat.
But now that you're here, now you've taken over sports medicine. Tell me about the sports medicine department, right? And some of the advances that are happening with sports medicine.
Sure. So one of the brand new things is that we're actually getting an X-ray machine in clinic. So it's very crucial, especially for like musculoskeletal issues. So we have that, right away. Somebody comes in with let's say a shoulder issue. We have the X-ray machine available, so we can get a quick view, kind of system and the treatment pathway.
And before, patients from Gateway, if they needed an X-ray, needed to go out, right?
Externally,
so now they can do it in-house.
Exactly.
Excellent. How do the residents benefit from that piece now? Will they be able to be a part of that process, that growth process?
Yeah, so eventually, we're still kind of growing our volume for sports medicine here in Gateway. The idea is to, once we have a certain day where it's purely sports medicine, we can have a resident kind of follow and assist as we go along, so they can just take, they can do most of their learning here in Gateway for sports medicine.
It's excellent, man. I'm excited for the advances that Gateway is making, and then obviously our residency program and our future doctors will be able to be a part of that growth process. So my hat's off to you and the rest of the core faculty who are doing a great job in preparing our future doctors, and hopefully they will choose to stay here. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Eduardo Garza, if you have sports medicine needs, make sure you come and visit him. If you have a child that's in sports, or you yourself are a very active person, we have our very own sports medicine doctor here to serve you. Once again, from Gateway Community Health Center, we thank Dr. Garza for his time, and we thank you for watching.
Welcome.
A big thank you to Dr. Eduardo Garza for his time and sharing how he's trying to keep these doctors here in the Gateway City. I will say we'll keep on feeding them tacos, and maybe we'll keep them here. That may convince them. That's going to do it for today's program. We want to remind you, if you'd like to become a patient of Gateway Community Health Center, simply visit gatewaychc.com. Remember, your health is your wealth, ladies and gentlemen, so make sure you take care of it.
Gateway Sports Medicine has grown leaps and bounds to provide quality health care for everyone in Laredo and the surrounding areas, providing multiple sports medicine services for adults and children. Now we welcome Dr. Eduardo Garza, our new sports medicine physician, to our team, helping the athletes of Laredo be at the peak of their performance. Dr. Eduardo Garza brings his knowledge and experience to Gateway Community Health Center. With school around the corner, get your star athlete checked out today and welcome Dr. Eduardo Garza to Gateway Sports Medicine.
Gateway Pediatrics invites you to make an appointment for your child's next pediatric visit for your wellness checks, pediatric vaccines, physicals, and for any other health care needs. With 6 clinics to serve you. Call Gateway Pediatrics at 956-795-8100.
Gateway Sports Medicine brinda atención de calidad en Laredo y las áreas cercanas, ofreciendo servicios de medicina deportiva para todas las edades. Le damos la bienvenida al Dr. Eduardo Garza, médico de medicina deportiva. El Dr. Garza brinda su experiencia a Gateway Community Health Center, lo cual ayudará a sus pacientes a que continúen siendo atletas de alto rendimiento. Con el regreso a clases, evalúe a su atleta estrella hoy y dele la bienvenida al Dr. Eduardo Garza a Gateway Sports Medicine.